Good afternoon, everyone. It is a kind of a rainy, icky Wednesday out there, but and it's Wednesday and a holiday week, which, as my 10-year-old has pointed out, it always feels like a day before. So we had Monday off, Tuesday felt like Monday, now Wednesday feels like Tuesday. But then by the time Saturday comes along, we hit the reset button and cool, it's the weekend again, and let's move forward. So speaking of my son, speaking of family, of friends, of those who are close to us, that's been a topic that's been really close to my heart lately, is thinking about what effect upgrading our careers has, whether it's negative or positive, what effect that can have on our friends and family. And this comes up a lot, so I want to talk about that. How you upgrade your career, how you add tons of value as a technical leader and command a premium salary of at least 200K a year. And you do that without alienating, without pushing away your friends and family. And instead, actually, those relationships with those loved ones, they thrive, and they're even better than they were before. Because I think some people have the false belief that, all right, if I'm going to be making a lot of money, I'm going to have to be working a lot of hours, and so that means I can't have life outside of work. I was just talking to a client today, a prospective client today, who had mentioned about, working for startups, and kind of, just living the startup lifestyle, and that's just the way that it is. I never get to talk to my wife. I really don't get to see my kids. We never have dinner together, and that's just the way that it is. And that may be the way that it is for him and his family and for a lot of other families, but it absolutely doesn't have to be that way. You shouldn't have to sacrifice your relationships with your friends, with your family, with loved ones, in order to have an awesome career and make a lot of money while you're doing it. Instead, everything should be getting better. As you earn more money, as you become a better leader, as you upgrade your career, your relationships get better. Your freedom in life gets better as well. And that's one of the things that we help our clients do, is to make sure that, yeah, you're adding value as a technical leader. You're earning more money. You're getting recognized for the value that you're adding. So you're earning more money. And on top of that, your relationships are thriving. And you just feel like there's so much love in your life, and you're not just treading water. You're not just like heads above water, but you're soaring in terms of your relationship and other parts of your life as well. Whether it be your spiritual life, your religious life, your mental well-being, your physical well-being, everything else is thriving as well. But I want to talk about friends and family because, like I said, this is a topic that's been coming up quite a lot lately, both on calls with prospective clients, but also on recent coaching calls with our current clients, where we talked about kind of on one of our recent coaching calls, we talked about the effect that friends and family can have on our attempts to upgrade our careers, and that can actually be part of the struggle, that they may be keeping us, whether they realize it or not. Friends and family might be part of what we feel like are the barriers to really upgrading our careers. And so one of the things to point out is that this is actually quite common. So if you consider yourself on the path toward career transformation, and I'm going to make the wild assumption that a lot of you are, because you're in this group, you're listening to this video, and you are attempting to achieve what a lot of other people view as just impossible, like fairy tales. And if you are doing the impossible, then that's going to rub some people the wrong way, and they may not like it. And people who used to be friends, you may realize they weren't really your friends. They're the air quote friends. So it can show up that way, but it can also show up in other different ways too. So for example, you may have a spouse or a partner, someone who you live with, who just may not feel completely supportive, and maybe isn't. Maybe even come out and say, I don't think that you need to earn more money. You just need to get a job. That's what can happen sometimes, where especially when people are in the job market, and people are in the job market and you don't want to settle. So it may take a little longer than expected to find that next job. But your spouse, your partner, your loved one may be like, just take a job already. Just find a job already. I'm sick of this, right? And maybe not 100% supportive of your efforts to really land that dream job and to not settle. Or it may be like friends who are just sick and tired of you telling your stories of your job search woes, your career woes. Let me tell you this tale of woe. Let me tell you what happened at work today. About this change in leadership that happened, and oh my God, and I got a job title change, and I was supposed to get this raise, but I never got it, and this other dude got it, and I'm way more deserving of it than he was. And you tell these stories to friends, and they may start to get a little bit more than a little bit frustrated of hearing about the struggles and the frustrations that you're going through as you attempt to upgrade your career. So these are just some examples of how the friends and family factor can show up as you walk the path toward career transformation. And like another thing that can happen too is sometimes it's other people's careers that are actually a source of stress and worry and frustration for you, where as you're trying all you can to really like land that next job, land that promotion, get paid more, get recognized for it, finally get assigned to really awesome projects instead of just the projects where it's like, okay, I'm really being underutilized here, seriously. Not those kinds of projects, the ones where you feel, fulfilled and pushed and challenged in a wonderful way. That's what you want to do. You're trying, but you're not succeeding, you're failing, and yet you see other people, and it may be friends, it may be family members, maybe it's people you went to college with, maybe it was people who you went to high school with, or just people who you consider to be like your cohort, your people, like very similar backgrounds, very similar in terms of what could be possible. And you look at that person or those people and you say, that person's making $200K a year, if that person just got a promotion. It just seems so easy for her. It seems so easy for him. And that can be a source of frustration as well, because they have what you want, right? And that can be frustrating. If they're close to you, it's like, yeah, I love you. I love that you got this. I love that you got this promotion. But there's this inner sort of, I want that too, right? And that can drive us, absolutely. That can motivate us to want more, to keep us hungry and keep us going. But too much of that turns into stress and worry and fear and doubt and frustration. And none of that stuff is good. But that's what happens when you kind of get stuck and keep doing what's not working. And if you keep staying on that path, you're never going to get unstuck. When you don't have that clarity and you don't have that sense of certainty that what you're doing is actually going to work, it's the blind leading the blind. And in terms of who it is that's trying to give you advice, and then you're just like, all right, I'll figure it out on my own, but you don't know how to figure it out on your own. Whether it's to land that next job, that dream job, to get that promotion, to earn more money, to do it all without working your ass off. Like, to figure out how to do that, you don't know how. And then if you stay on that path, it's never gonna get fixed. Because that's the definition of insanity, is to keep doing the same thing over and over and over and over and expecting a different result. So that's really the reality of it. That if that's what you're feeling like right now, and that's kind of a more obvious kind of a situation, right? That can be your situation now, where it's like, clear, you have to fix this. You have to, because it's never going to get fixed and you need help, right? Which is a sign of strength, which is not a sign of weakness. But sometimes it shows up in less less extreme ways, because we get really, really good at coping with stress. And look, that can be a great thing, right? To be able to cope with stress and to be able to, separate your work and family life, to be able to say, all right, it kind of sucks right now, but I can get through this. I can power through it. And it's okay. I can deal with it. I can deal with it. And what happens is you settle for it's okay. You settle for, well, it could be better, but I'm doing okay. So other people are doing a lot worse. And you end up settling for that. And then you don't realize that there's another level way above that you're just treading water. And that's not sustainable, because you're going to tire yourself out if you're just treading water. So that's how it can show up too, where it's like, yeah, I'm coping. Mm-hmm. Is that how you want to live your life? I'm coping? No. You want to live your life above that, soaring. I am doing awesome. And I'm doing awesome at work, and I have wonderful, wonderful relationships with everyone who is close to me, whether it's at work or whether it's outside of work. And so the bottom line is, if you're listening to this and you're struggling, or you're on the verge of struggling, if you do not fix your career soon, you're never going to be able to fix it. That is the harsh reality. We've seen it happen time and time again, where we talk with people and they get to the point, okay, I think maybe sort of, maybe I want to fix this, but then they don't commit to fixing it. And they think it's just gonna magically fix on its own. They think that, insanity, right? They think that I'll just keep doing what I've been doing. It'll fix itself. Something will happen. And then when we stay in touch with people who we speak with, and we reach out and we say, hey, how's it going? Do you still need help? Every single time, yeah, I still need help. And the best case scenario is it's the same. That's the best case, is that it just hasn't gotten better, right? It's the same. They're still in that kind of ho-hum coping world. Yep, still doing it. Still doing still doing the treadmill. Work, eat, sleep, repeat. Everything's the same. Because they haven't fixed it. They don't know how to fix it. And the worst case scenario is it gets worse. And worse, that ends up in a lot of different ways. If we're talking about relationships, people end up divorced. Good friends of ours, good friends of Rob and I's, Rob and me's, good friends of ours have gotten divorced because of work. Because one or the other partners just got so tied up in work and career and stressed out by it. There was either, I don't really have a partner anymore because he's always at work, so he might as well just get divorced, and it happens. Or just get so stressed out by it that it's like, this isn't the person I married. This isn't the person I fell in love with, because he or she is just constantly stressed out now. And I don't want to live my life like this. I don't want to live my life with a person who never sleeps, who works all the time, and is always just talking about how they can't get what they want to go in their career. And oh yeah, by the way, we never really have a dinner together anyway. Where at one point it was like, oh, it's fine that we don't have dinners together. But then that turns into, that's like one thing that can then downward spiral into the rest of it. So that's the harsh reality. If you're struggling right now and have not figured out yet how to upgrade your career, you're never going to. And I don't want to see that happen for you. And so that's why our clients reach out to us. Because like I said earlier, reaching out for help is not a sign of weakness. It is a sign of strength. That's what leaders do. The top 1% of leaders in this country hire coaches because they know that they want to learn from the best. They want to have that support, that they know that they cannot do this on their own, that it's actually an unintelligent move, an unwise move to think, oh, I can just figure this out on my own, I'll do it. That may have been okay when you were in your teens and your 20s and you were still building up that ego and I can do this, and that's kind of what that part of life is about. I can do this on my own, Mom. You don't need to help me. Right? Good. Go do it. Go learn. Right? But if you're watching this and you're an experienced technical leader, you're not in your teens or 20s anymore. You're in your 30s, your 40s, your 50s, and beyond. This is not the time of your life to say, I can do this on my own. You're not a teenager anymore. Right? It reminds me of that Beatles song. I'm a huge huge Beatles fan. Help. Right? Help me if you can. Right? I appreciate it. Right? That there was a time in my life when I thought that I can do it on my own, but I know that I can't anymore. And the only way that I'm going to be able to move forward is with help. And that's the difference between you who are watching this struggling. Because let's be honest, you wouldn't be watching this if you weren't struggling in some way, shape, or form. That's the difference between you and the clients who we serve, is they reached out for help. It's the one thing. They reached out for help, they booked a call with us, and we mapped out a plan. And we figured it out. So if you are sick and tired of being sick and tired, if you are sick and tired of trying to upgrade your career but failing, perhaps failing miserably, maybe even just failing a little bit and you don't want to fail miserably, and you're starting to see some of the negative relationship effects that it has, whether it's on a spouse, a partner, your kids, brothers, sisters, parents, friends, coworkers, and it's starting to damage those relationships, now is the time to fix it before it gets worse. And look, if it's already gotten to the point of worse, we've helped those people too. Better late than never. Better late than never. But book a call with us today. If what you want for your career is to be able to really add immense amounts of value as a technical leader, to command a salary of at least $200K a year, if not more, and you want to do this while you build relationships that are thriving relationships, then book a call with our team today. thepeoplestack.com/talk. We're going to take a really honest, truthful look at what's going on in your career right now, and also how that's affecting the rest of your life as well. And we're going to map a plan to get you from where you are right now to where you want to go. We're going to talk about what's the dream. What's the dream in terms of your career, your job, and what you do on a day-to-day basis and how you add value. But we're also going to talk about the lifestyle and the relationship aspect of it as well. If you're married and you have kids, what effect is earning more money? Earning 15%, 20%, 30 or 50% or more a month. How awesome is that going to be for your family life? What are the things that you're going to be able to do for them that you can justify? And we're going to talk about that. Then we're going to map out a plan to get you from point A, which is right now, to point B, which is Dreamville. We're going to talk about what that looks like. We're going to talk about what it takes to get there, because it ain't easy. It ain't easy to get there, right? I am not trying to make it sound like, oh yeah, poof, done. No, it's not. It does take hard work. It takes grit. It takes decisiveness, commitment, resourcefulness to get there. And if we determine that we're 100% confident that we can help you get there, then we're going to talk about what that looks like. And we're going to talk about all of the details, and it's always your decision whether or not you want to work together, whether you want our expert help so that we can be, your expert guides toward traversing and hiking and running and skipping and jumping along the path to career transformation. It's always your decision if you want us to be there as your experts, as your expert guides. But no matter what your decision, you're going to get some immense value, some immense clarity out of this call. So book a call with us today, thepeoplestack.com/talk. So that is it for the day, folks. And so sending really, really loving wishes to family. And so if anything else, this is really to family and friends and loved ones. It's really just a reminder of how important others are in our lives. And if you haven't yet, please take a hard look at how your career and your decisions about your career and the struggles that you're going through in your career, how they are having a negative effect on those who are surrounding you. And that may just be the thing that makes you say, I have to fix this. If not for myself, I have to do it for them. I owe it to them to really get the help that I need so that we together can live a thriving life. So that's it for the day, folks. We'll see you on Friday. Take care.